World Network. Dr. Ruth Anderson here. I'm so pleased to have Caroline Palmy here for Focus on Lightworkers. Caroline is an award-winning best-selling author. She's a speaker and a heart flow healer. I'm so excited to get to know you today, Caroline. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me and sending so much love from Switzerland, from the heart of Europe.
Nice. Thank you. So, Caroline, first of all, can you share with us what is it that you are putting out into the world? And then we're going to talk about how you got to this point of doing this work.
Yes, I do energy work, sort of like Reiki, but from a different angle. And I love connecting heart to heart with people. And I have a 12-session self-love journey because I think we all come from love. We all go back to love. And here in this earthly experience, we are all looking for love in one way or another. And love is our true essence. And especially women can be so hard on themselves. And when we can look and talk and be more compassionate with ourselves and fill ourselves up, connect to the love within and shine then that love from our heart, we can bring that love to the world. And it all starts within. So I love to bring gorgeous women on that journey. And afterwards, they feel worthy, they feel empowered, they're ready to embark on their journey and finally become the woman they were meant to be.
Beautiful. Thank you. And I know, because Sherry Myers introduced us, that the angels are a part of who you are and what you are putting out into the world. So talk to me about your angels, if you would.
I love the angels, and the angels are always part of my healings on my journey. And I'm very close to Archangel Michael. And I love the protective energy of him and cutting the cords. And of course, Archangel Raphael as the healing angel. I also work with Archangel Gabriel because so many women, have a hard time speaking up or saying yes to ourselves, which means saying no to others. And that can be quite tricky. And sometimes we are afraid of asking for what we want, or just stating our desires. So that's where Archangel Gabriel can really help us. And with the heart, I always work with Mother Mary, another gorgeous angel, and it's so heart healing, so gentle, so soft. I also work, of course, with Archangel Camuel, however you pronounce it. And it's just really bringing that love and joy back into our life, as well as with Jophiel, and and Ariel, to bring us back into this earth grounded readiness, and just the angel support, whatever angels are there, guardian angels and the angels that need to come forward. Of course, as I also work with mediumship in my healings, Archangel Azrael is often there to help release the grief and bring messages from loved ones from the other side.
And I love the fact that you're in Switzerland and we both work with the same angels. So, Caroline, can you tell me, when you were growing up as a child, were you aware of angels? Were you aware of spirit? When did this all kick in for you?
I mean, I was always very intuitive. Here in Switzerland on January 6th, we have sort of like a Three Kings cake, sort of a round one with several little bread things around. And in one of those outside bowls, there's always a king figurine. And then you can be king for one day. And as a child, I was always picking that one. First thing, I intuitively knew where it was. But of course, I had no idea about angel. I just loved being in nature. I was always very sensitive and empathic. And of course, I had no idea what that means. I just realized that I didn't fit in. I didn't feel comfortable. And I couldn't be in a crowd. I just know that one time we had a lovely family in our neighborhood, and we always visited them. They had cats and dogs, and the husband or the father of those boys, he was such like a second father to us, my sisters and I. And there was one time when we said goodbye and we went home, I just let my family go first, and then I kissed him. I just kissed him on the cheek. And it was just that urge of kissing him and that love. And it was the last time I saw him. He died on his vacation. And for me, it was also sort of like I had that urge and I felt that love. And I had the same when my father passed when I was 23. I just had that full compassion, that love, and I just hugged him. And that was something I realized there is something, but I had no idea what it could be. I always wanted to become a doctor. When people ask me, what will you become? I said, a doctor. I loved healing, or I loved helping people. And I mean, only a couple of years ago, I realized I've become a doctor in my own form because I'm helping people, I'm healing them. But as a child, healers, Reiki, there was no way of knowing there's another way of helping. And so during my childhood, there was not a big event that I remember playing with the fairies or felt connected. I had, when I was 21, I had a near-death experience, and I was surfing or body surfing, and then I came under a wave, and then I have no idea. And then I woke up at the beach. The next thing I remember, and I now know that sure, the angels helped me ashore. But back then at 21, it was odd believing in angels. I didn't have other friends of knowing that. I just felt, okay, my guardian angel helped me, intervened. And of course, I was studying physics and math, so I was more in the analytical area. I married then another analytical man, and there was always mind over matter, and you are too sensitive, you are, all these kind of things, and why can you trust your heart and all that things. And it was only after my marriage ended, when I was 40, that I then learned more about myself, about empaths. It felt so good. So finally, okay, I'm not weird or something's wrong with me. I'm an empath. And there are other people out there being an empath, as well as with introverts. And my big hope is that mothers nowadays can share that with their children, so that children are more aware that it's okay to be sensitive, that it's okay to talk to spirit guides or have sort of other experiences, and it's okay to be an empath, and it's absolutely okay if you don't fit in. Actually, it's great if you're sort of outside of the box. And then of course was also the time I really learned more about the angels. I visited a workshop with Diana Cooper and read all her books and dived into the angels. And I felt, because going through a divorce and learning to speak up, recovering from an emotional, abusive, narcissist, empath relationship took strength. And there were times I felt truly lonely, but with the angels, I always felt supported. And that's really wonderful. So my spiritual journey only started after my separation. And I love that actually the worst day of my life, I thought back then, is now actually the best day of my life, because it opened up to so much more. And I'm eternally grateful that I was put or pushed on that path and can help other women and chat with you about the angels.
Interesting how life takes us through these experiences that strip away everything that we think we are in order to really open the door for all that we can become.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Very, very brave of you to walk through that at 40.
Yeah.
So,
and it's all about embracing yourself fully,
Right, exactly. And not keeping ourselves small in the vision that we used to think. Yes,
mm-hmm.
absolutely. You have written 2 books. Would you like to share those with us?
I have written 2 books. The first one is called Conversations with Me. And that's all the stories. Both books are sort of set up the same way. It's around 30 chapters, independent of each other. I share my life stories. They are memoirs, little episodes. And at the end, there's always some insight, helpful tool for the readers to do themselves. The first book is all about reconnecting with myself after my separation and how I had no idea who I was anymore. Because for 20 years, I sort of bent over backwards. I tried to make this marriage work. I tried to make my then husband happy. I was a mom with 3 young kids. And I completely lost track of who am I. And yeah, the journey of reconnecting with who I am, what I love. And these are the stories, while also going through a divorce and learning about myself. And the second book is Loving Conversations with Me. And as you can say, it's love. It's all about connecting to the love within. It was after another relationship I had and it ended. It was just like, I felt so unlovable. Everybody leaves me, no one likes me. I was crying for 5 days. I just got up, drove the kids to school, came back, went under the duvet, cried. But it needed that. It was that release. And afterwards I felt, you know what? I am so needy of love. I clung to men. I only felt loved when I was in a relationship. And then I was staying in unhealthy relationships for far too long. And I said, so can't be, there must be more. So these are the stories of how you can connect with the love within, how you can embrace yourself. First of all, accept yourself fully, embrace yourself, and then move forward with love.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much. So many women, especially in the middle years, I'll call them the middle years, have gone through so much, and absolutely what you said, completely lost themselves. And then we get that, and I will sign up for that as well. And then getting that opportunity a little later in life to really embrace who we are and what we always brought to the table, but maybe weren't able to acknowledge at that point. So thank you. So talk to us about being a heart flow healer. What does that mean?
I always say I help my clients open the doors to their heart so they can be back in the flow of love. I created that word myself because I felt sort of, heart flow healing. I studied pranic healing from prana, from the Indian prana, like chi in Chinese, from the flow. It works with chakras. It works with energy, it works with colors. It was really a good way of energy healing. And I actually learned about it having a concussion and the whiplash, and nothing helped. So I then got some sessions. I thought, wow, this is wonderful. I want to know more. I want to learn more. But it's very restrictive. It has protocols, for each disease, whatever you have to follow the protocol. I thought, but there's more, it was my intuition already gave me so much more. It's like rose petals or swimming with the dolphins and all so much. But it was, this chakra, this color, blah, 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 in this order. And then, of course, I learned all about the angels and angelic healing and intuitive. And I thought, this is it. This is great because this is what I'm doing. But I realized it's angelic healing with pranic healing, with knowing about all the body and the organs and everything. And I thought, it's my own composition of healing with the mediumship, with past life regression, with whatever is coming up and whatever my intuition is guiding me to. And I thought heart flow healing, because I'm a heart person. I'm deeply honored to finally live as a heart person, having been, conditioned at school. All it helps is just, being intelligent, doing your work, and being told, you're just too sensitive, and finally embracing my sensitivity. So that's why I call it heart flow healing.
I really like that, because you can help other people to embrace that about themselves.
Yeah, and it's so needed now. I think it's now really that time for people to lead with their heart. It's really the perfect time.
Absolutely. So if somebody wants a private session with you, can they do that online? And what might they expect during a private session?
They can do that online. They can book a one-off session with me. Absolutely perfect. We can focus on one topic. It's 1 hour long. And it was via Zoom, like we are chatting here on Zoom. And we first have a chat. What's going on? Where would you love to focus? So for me to get a little background and for the person to hear more. And then, I ask my clients to sit or lie down comfortably. And I will sort of relax them, bring them into a meditative state, and then work from head to toe through the chakras, focusing on that topic. And then whatever comes up, clearing their whole energy system and talking to them, doing little exercises that come up. And for example, when we work on the heart, most often with Mother Mary, she will we can just breathe in and breathe out our pain into the hands of Mother Mary, into just release that, and she will sort of mend our heart and wrap it in pink light. But also with the heart, it's sometimes that a parent is coming and apologizing or sharing that they truly love their child but weren't unable to show it. in the childhood, like we are all human beings, and things like these, and at the end I usually unwrap the wings on the back. So many people have stress or tension on the shoulder blades, and we sort of unfold the wings, and it's always gorgeous to see what kind of wings they are. More fairy wings, angel wings. I even had one had eagle wings. So I said, so you are ready to soar now, and it's really beautiful and gentle and loving. And of course, 2-3 days later, I always sort of catch up and say, how is it going? Did anything come up? Do you still have a question? And yeah, it's beautiful.
That sounds very individualized for exactly what that person's needing.
It is. And so often something new comes up, even for me, but I have learned to trust my intuition, and I just let myself be guided. And I know this is the right thing for that person. And I always love to learn new ideas or connect with the wise woman or whatever, whatever is coming up. So that's really, really beautiful. And it's individualized. And also my 12-week or 12-session program is one-on-one. I love group work, but with topics like these, I prefer one-on-one, so people are not afraid to speak up or share, because sometimes it's really painful things that come up. And yeah.
Well, it's like counseling. I mean, so often the energetic sessions can replace years of counseling. It's amazing.
It is. And it's not, you don't have to speak. You don't have to say anything. You just have to feel. And I always tell my clients, don't worry. We are going back lovingly. We are letting go lovingly. And it's not like, even if you reconnect with a time in your life, because sometimes things come up like at school, there was an issue, and let's clear that. And I said, so you don't go back into the pain. Maybe tears will flow down, just let them flow. But it's just like breathing deeply and letting it go. And that's why I love energy work. It's so gentle. It's so subtle, but it's so much can go, and so much release. Like years of talking can never do, because you can only talk so much about the topic, and you can still not deal with it. But when you lovingly let go with energy work, it's just like amazing.
Yes, it can truly be life-changing.
It is. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Caroline, if people want to know more about you and the work that you do, how do they find out about you, and how do they contact you?
Best visit my website, carolinepalmy.com, and can also find me on all kinds of social media. I'm mostly active on Instagram or Facebook. And send me an email. That's the best. You can contact me through my website. You can read more about my experiences. And I always love to hear from you. And even if you're watching that on Facebook in the Enlightened World, it's share a comment, reach out to me, and always happy to hear what your insights were, or how I inspired you, or how similar maybe paths are. And believe in yourself, trust yourself. You can get through this one step at a time. And there's always light at the end of each tunnel.
Thank you. Caroline, thank you so much for being here today. Friends, thanks for being here at Enlightened World Network. Check out Caroline Palmy. She is very inspirational. I know Sherry Myers thinks the world of her, so I'm sure you can go on to Sherry Myers' page as well and learn more about Caroline. So take good care, everyone. Thank you for being here. God bless. Caroline, thank you.
Thank you.